Welcome back to Red Brook Farm in Scarborough, Maine. Where we are is on the, when is it? It's about the 15th of November. And we've just had, there's the apiary. There's the beehives over here. And what we're doing is a little show on Red Brook. We call this Red Brook Farm because right here behind the beehives is a Red Brook. And what you're looking at is the flood stage of Red Brook after 5.5 inches of rain in a 12-hour period of time. We had 5.5 inches of rain, and what we're looking at here is, if you look right along here, you can see the water. That's the normal brook, and the height is there's that tree that's losing its bark. That's usually, well, the brook is right in here usually, and what happens is it comes down like this, and then it shoots out back, goes out like that, and over by that bridge and around and back. And what it's done is it's flooded this whole area. You can see the current. It's actually moving from left to right here, and it's just taking a big shortcut. It's going right across like this instead of where it usually goes, which is comes in like this, goes out up to the back, all around, and then back down in and back in through the alders here. So this is Red Brook. They call it Red Brook because there's a high iron content in the soils, and so there's a lot of iron, and what you'll find is that gives it just a little bit of a red tint because of the soils that it runs over. And what they're doing, the honeybees love it. I don't see any here right now, but normally a honeybee would come right along the edge, right where the grass meets the water is where the bees would work, because one of the 4 things they forage for is water, and normally where they're foraging is over there by that bridge. This is mowed grass here. It's a mowed lawn back over to that area there, and right down beside that bridge in the mud. They're kind of mud suckers. They just get into the mud and enjoy themselves, gathering the water that they would gather, and use that water to cool the hive in the summertime, use that water to mix with crystallized honey and whatnot. Very, very important product. They forage for honey, they forage for nectar, pollen, water, and propolis. And what you're seeing here in the yard, this is the 2 5-frame nuke hive. This one is going to be placed on top of one of these other colonies here about Thanksgiving, in about 2 weeks. They've got to wait for them to stop flying. As you can see, the bees are still flying, and when they're flying, they orient to that spot. And if I move it, and the reason I'm going to move it is those are 2 5-frame colonies in one 10-frame box, and they would not overwinter well unless they were on top of another colony, and the warmth from the large colony would supply just enough warmth to those colonies that they could overwinter. And what you see here, we have 7 colonies full size. The last one down on the end is very problematic. They've lost their queen this fall, and they have not requeened well, so I'm probably going to lose the last colony down at the end. And this time of year, what you're looking at is closed down entrances. They're closed right down to about 1 inch on the opening on the right hand side, and the bees are coming and going from that. There's a wide open screen bottom board on these, and it's about 55 degrees right now. It's kind of warm, 55, 58, and so what we're dealing with is the bees are out foraging. Very tough time of year for the bees, mainly because they don't have any nectar or pollen to gather. So what they're doing is they're buzzing each other's hives, and they're looking at each other, trying to get the trying to get honey from each other, and they're kind of robbing each other out. So what we're doing here is Mother Nature is causing them to defend each other from one another. They call it robbing. It's very popular, and what we end up doing is hoping that they make the best of it this time of year. Another installment from Red Brook Farm in Scarborough, Maine, redbrookhoney.com.